I do not stand for women tearing women down. I will never, ever be by that.
Leave me alone at this point.
Were you ever with Justin romantically at the same time as her?
Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber have a major feud. They've been competing for the love of Justin for years. Fans have worshipped the idea of Selena and Justin together forever, but that's not reality. And ultimately, Justin married Hailey Baldwin, which made her into public enemy number one. So let's get into it. So I have found my new favorite shoes, and I've been rocking my Vessi shoes everywhere. At the gym, shopping in the store, and walking my dog. Vessi shoes are the best because they are lightweight and very comfortable. They're made of a material called Dymatex, which is a knit material that keeps you cool in the summer and warm in colder weather. These shoes are perfect for any occasion. I've been wearing the men's everyday move style during my workouts and as I run errands. I've been loving these pair of shoes because they keep me cool and they are waterproof. What's cool about Vessi is their shoes are 100% waterproof. So now you don't have to wear those bulky rain boots because Vessi has you covered. Vessis are my go-to shoes right by my door, and if you want to grab yourself a pair, use my link in the description below and use code SLOAN, SLOAN, for $25 off adult sneakers. From activewear to day-to-day shoes, there are options for everyone. And Vessi's super easy because the shoes will just show up at your door and you're ready to go. So use my link below and let me know how you love your Vessi shoes. Thank you, Vessi, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. We need to talk about this feud between Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber. Even though these ladies would love to act like there aren't any problems here, after doing my research, I found that there are clearly issues. And it all stems back to Justin Bieber, who's one of the biggest pop stars of our lifetime. Once upon a time, he used to date Selena Gomez back when they were teenagers, and they were on and off for a very long time. In my opinion, they were toxic for each other, and that could be a whole separate video, but I want to focus on Hailey because Hailey Baldwin went on to date Justin Bieber and then marry him, and she has been hated on by Selena's fans because they believe that she stole Justin from Selena.
Husband and wife together in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, whom God has joined, let no man put asunder. Amen. Amen.
So this whole situation is trending again because Hailey Bieber went on to the podcast Call Her Daddy, which I actually ran into Alex Cooper at the Abbey recently, and she was so nice, like 10 out of 10. But anyways, people accuse Hailey of being a homewrecker, and she set the record straight.
Where do I start?
Your husband was in a very public relationship. People were obsessed with them being together. Mm-hmm. Were you ever with Justin romantically at the same time as her?
This is so crazy. I've literally never talked about this ever. A lot of the hate and the perpetuation comes from like, oh, you stole him. It's about people knowing the truth. Because there's a truth.
So this was a big episode for Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, and Selena because this whole situation is going to be thrown right back into the spotlight. Alex asked Hailey, have you ever been with Justin romantically at the same time as her, aka Selena Gomez? Hailey says, no, not one time. When him and I started hanging out, like, okay, let's put it this way. When him and I ever started hooking up or anything of that sort, he was not in a relationship, which honestly, she kind of caught herself there by like, you know, because they did hang out while he was with Selena. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's go ahead and react to the clip of Hailey making this statement.
Your husband was in a very public relationship. They were kids. People were obsessed with the idea of them. People were confused on the timeline you're talking about of like, is she a homewrecker? So I guess my question is, Hailey, were you ever with Justin romantically at the same time as her?
No. Not one time. When him and I started hanging out, like, okay, let's just put it this way. When him and I ever started like hooking up or like anything of that sort, he was not ever in a relationship, ever, at any point. I would never, it's not my character to mess with someone's relationship. I would just never do that. I was raised better than that. I'm not interested in doing that, and I never was. I think that there are situations where you can still kind of have like back and forth with someone, but even that was not the situation. Like I can say period point blank, I was never with him when he was in a relationship with anybody. That's the end of it. And I had been involved with him since I was 18.
I do want to give you guys a disclaimer that I'm on nobody's side. I don't think that Hailey Bieber's in the right or Selena Gomez, and definitely not Justin Bieber. But something I do find interesting is that Selena Gomez is putting out a documentary, and some people believe that she's going to address her relationship with Justin. So I did see some tweets where people were calling out Hailey Bieber for deciding to talk to Alex Cooper as a way to control the narrative before Selena Gomez's documentary comes out. But now let's go ahead and break down this feud, because it really starts with Justin and Selena's relationship. People are so obsessed with the idea of them that they cannot let it go. And to this day, even after they've been married, people are still speculating on Justin and Hailey's relationship, which adds a lot of pressure onto them, and especially Hailey.
A TikToker who makes predictions about celebrity relationships said this about the couple specifically. I feel like this month we may actually find out there's trouble in paradise with Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Biebs. I feel like things may be on the rocks. Hailey's response, LMFAO.
That's about it.
During Hailey's interview with Call Her Daddy, she had claimed that at one point she had like suicidal thoughts because of all of the hate that she receives on social media. And as I've been doing research for this video, there is a lot of hate out there. I mean, I even found a very old picture of Justin and Selena kissing that he had posted 341 weeks ago. And there were still comments from today where people are talking about being team Jelena, which is Selena and Justin's relationship name. And then we have Jaylee, I believe. But there are still people who are heavily like contributing to this Jelena situation that's been done for a while now. But honestly, there's no doubt in my mind that Hailey did have some kind of relationship with Justin while he was with Selena. On August 14th, 2016, there was an exchange on Instagram between Selena and Justin. She writes, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend. LOL. It should be special between you two. Don't be mad at your fans." So I guess maybe he had posted another girl and then the fans got upset with him. So he started becoming upset with them. He writes to Selena, "It's funny to see people that used me for attention and still try to point the finger this way. Sad, all love." Then he writes, "I'm not one for anyone receiving hate. Hope you can be kind to my friends and each other. And yes, I love my Biebers." Then she writes, "Funny how the ones that cheated multiple times are pointing the finger at ones that were forgiving and supportive. No wonder fans are mad. Sad, all love." So she was very straight up. She accuses Justin of cheating on her, and I believe that he did, because why would he go and delete his entire Instagram the next day on August 15th, 2016, and he kept it off the internet until February of 2017. So he left the internet for a while, like over 6 months, because of Selena calling him like a cheater. Hailey also got involved at this point, and she wrote on social media, misplacing the blame onto someone else isn't going to get you to the next stage in life. So try not to manipulate a situation to make yourself look better, which really looks like she's addressing what's going on with Selena and definitely taking Justin's side. Now let's get into Hailey and Justin's relationship and the toxic side of it. So these two have been defending themselves and their love for the duration of their relationship. There's one page on Instagram dedicated to making fun of Hailey and Justin. It's called Jaylee is a Joke, and they actually commented on one of Justin's posts and wrote, "You are not in love with Hailey. You only married her to get back at Selena Gomez. Plus, Hailey sleeps with men like Shawn Mendes for fame, and she's racist." I don't know anything about Hailey being a racist, but if she is, comment below, because I do have some things to say about her uncle, Alec Baldwin. That will be a future video, but I found it interesting that this person mentioned Shawn Mendes because it does seem like Hailey and Shawn did have a fling at some point back in 2018, so I had no idea they were ever dating. Justin Bieber wrote an entire book back to this fan and called them immature and absurd. Why would I dedicate my whole life to someone in marriage to get back at my ex? Anyone who believes this is mean-spirited or 10 years old or younger, because a logical person doesn't talk or think this way. You should be ashamed of yourself. So he went on and on, which honestly, if I was Hailey, I would be really thankful. I mean, he could say nothing, but he clearly cares enough to reply. And Hailey has had her moments too. I mean, she defends herself equally as much as Justin does. Back in April 2019, she posted on her Instagram story, and she was addressing all of the Jelena fans, writing, "You little internet kiddos need to learn how to move on for real. We're adults that have better things to do than waste our time explaining something just so you can stop your delusional fantasies. I'm not going to sit here and let obsessive strangers try to tell me about my own husband. You want to talk about somebody's husband, then get your own. Good night." When it comes to Selena Gomez, she doesn't comment on a lot of this. I mean, compared to Justin Bieber, she's pretty much said nothing, but she has said some things, and she has said some things through her music as well, which is really like almost aggravated the fan base to continue this Jelena obsession. Back in October 2019, she released the song Lose You to Love Me, which supposedly addresses the situation between Justin and Hailey. And this really upset the fan base. I mean, that song triggered a lot of people into going to Hailey's page and harassing her and Justin, which actually Selena stepped forward and told them that this was not okay.
Oh, actually, one thing I do want to say while I'm on this live, I am grateful for the response that the song is getting. I'm so grateful. However, I do not stand for women tearing women down. I will never, ever be by that. So please be kind to everyone.
So that happened in October 2019. And then in December 2019, Hailey did an interview with British Vogue, and she said, "I think social media is a breeding ground for toxicity and people creating false drama between women and trying to put women up against each other and create these narratives that are just toxic. I think that has to change and it has to stop. I think there needs to be more people with platforms coming together and saying to each other, let's kill the conversation, let's kill the fake drama, let's squash all these things, let's move on from this stuff. Let's not fuel the fire," which I think is directly commenting on that October 19th situation, which Selena did kind of come forward and, I guess clear the air, but not necessarily. And I think that's been one of the biggest problems here, is that like Selena doesn't really fully address it yet, and maybe she will in her documentary. Then moving on to January 2020, Madison Beer decided to hang out with Hailey Bieber, and Madison Beer is a singer. She's pretty famous herself, and she's also good friends with Selena Gomez. But because Madison was seen with Hailey, people thought that maybe Madison was a fake friend, a bad person, and she got so much online hate. Like, girl, if I was Madison, I would have deleted my Instagram like Justin did. But Selena actually stepped in and commented on Madison's Instagram post and said that this is disgusting reading all of this. This wasn't intentional whatsoever. I'm so disappointed that people would speak to someone like this. I've known Madison since she was was a baby and watching her to continue to become the woman that she is. There is no issue here. So that's kind of like, I don't know, really, I mean, it would make me now, I wouldn't want to be friends with Selena if like any social relationships are like weaponized. Like she can, I don't know, it's just weird. Like if you're friends with Selena and you're seen with someone who she may not like, then you're automatically public enemy number one. So I do praise Selena for stepping in and making that clear that this is not okay, but it's still scary that it's happening in the first place. Then a few months later, Hailey discusses Selena in a Facebook Live because a lot of fans were comparing Selena and Hailey to each other. And she said, I've had a really, really hard go and a really hard time with a lot of the things that people say and a lot of the ways that people have tried to make comparisons and just put me in a position where they've made me feel really like I was less of a woman. It's not easy. I think I've gotten to a point where people are going to say what they're going to say. People think they know what happened in his life and his relationships, and they know what happened between us and our relationship and how we got here, but there's no possible way that they could.
When being public figures, how do you both manage being a couple with everyone feeling like they have a say in your relationship? Well, let me start by saying there's probably a lot I could say about that particular question and about that subject. Man, it's definitely not easy, and you know, Justin knows that I've had a really, really hard go and a really hard time with a lot of the things people say and a lot of the just ways that I feel like people have made comparisons and just put me in a position where they've made me really feel like less of a woman. And you know, it's not easy, I think, especially when people have fans that are really passionate and they want to express that and they want to express their opinion. And I think a lot of the time it's a lot of children and just young people who would never understand the reality of, you know, a relationship yet because they're so young and they haven't even experienced it and they haven't been there yet. I also think when people have a lot to say about something, or they go out of their way to make somebody feel less than, or then go out of their way to make somebody feel bad, it's because they're going through something themselves and they're projecting onto this public figure, and it makes them feel better about themselves. And that reality doesn't make it any easier, but I think it helps to remind myself, like, that person is only trying to make me feel that way because they're going through something themselves. And, you know, I've addressed it a lot. I've addressed how I just, you know, I think I've gotten to a point really where I'm just like, people are going to say what they're going to say, and it doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't hurt any less. But at this point, I think a lot of sometimes what people say is just beyond ridiculous. It's not reality. People think they know what happened in his life and his relationships, and they think they know what happened between us and our relationship and how we got here.
And there's no possible way they could.
And they invent details that they think are true that really aren't. And I got to a point where I'm like, why am I even going to try to go out of my way to set the record straight when it's really nobody's business and it doesn't matter? And we know what happened to get to this place and to get here in our relationship, and the people that we care about know what really happened, and that's what matters. There's so much that people don't know that went on behind the scenes.
How do you daily let that go, though? Because it's a daily thing. It's not like that's gonna stop. Like, what helps you, like, in that time to, like...
Well, I think keeping my eyes away from it, and to try my best to just not even read things, not look at things, keep my comments off, not Google things, not read articles. That has probably been the biggest thing, because then it's like you can't even if you don't read what they're saying, you don't let your mind spiral there.
Sometimes it's so tempting to watch because you want to know.
And sometimes I do read things, and I do read comments sometimes, but I think I've just learned the lesson over and over again so many times that it's just never made me feel better, and it's never made me happy. So I just try to avoid it. And I think having good people around you to help you remind you of the truth as well, like taking that to somebody and being like, I saw that somebody said this today and it really upset me, and having a friend, a confidant, a therapist, somebody be able to tell you well, you know that's not true, and here's why, and
At this point, it seems like Justin and Hailey just seem defeated. Justin's now fighting with his fans on Instagram pretty much every day, and he calls out an Instagram user for being sad after they tried to insult Hailey. Justin said that this sad excuse of a human just encouraged people on a video to literally go after my wife, telling people to say that my previous relationship was better and so forth. It's extremely hard to choose the high road when I see people like this try and rally together to bully the person I love the most in this world. It is not right. It isn't right. And honestly, I feel bad for Justin because I feel like there's no way that he doesn't have a deep guilt for what Hailey is going through. And of course, Hailey defended herself in that moment as well. She posted on her Instagram, and it's just pretty sad to see. I'm not entirely sure who was the person trying to instigate everyone to go and bully Hailey, but it must be someone who's running one of these big fan accounts. So 2020 was a rough year for everyone, but moving on to 2021, it did seem like some of the drama had died down because Hailey actually liked one of Selena's pictures on Instagram, which I think it's so ridiculous that like this is news, but I guess it is because it's like kind of showing support. But liking that picture didn't help anything because in April 2022, Hailey is still receiving so much hate that she ended up posting a video where she told people to leave her alone. I'm minding my business. I don't do anything. I don't say anything. Leave me alone, please.
Leave me alone at this point. I'm minding my business. I don't do anything. I don't say anything. Leave me alone, please. Enough time has gone by where it's valid to leave me alone. I beg of you, truly. That's my only request. Leave me alone. Be miserable somewhere else, please.
A month after Hailey posted this video, Selena posted a very shady video that people caught wind of. So I guess Hailey had made a skincare routine type of video, and then Selena started posting a lot in May. I remember being on Instagram and seeing like Selena Gomez post like every single day, multiple times a day in May. I'm not entirely sure, but she made a video where she did like a skincare kind of routine, and it seemed like it was kind of poking fun at Hailey. I'm not entirely sure how this is making fun of Hailey because it seemed like a basic routine. Maybe there's something deeper here. I'm not saying because it doesn't really seem like anything more than just a basic TikTok skincare video, but I guess Hailey had just posted one earlier that day or the day before. So Selena ended up turning off the comments on that post, and she wrote, "This is why I believe in taking care of your mental health. Guys, no idea what I did, but I'm really sorry. Zero bad intention, deleting soon." Honestly, Selena, I don't even really understand what you did, but I do remember hearing about this and that it was shade and it was kind of an attack, but like really was it intended to be? And that pretty much brings us to the Call Her Daddy interview, which has been explosive. It's been all over the internet, and people are now reevaluating this situation, this relationship between Justin, Selena, and Hailey, and trying to break down what really happened here, because everyone is pretty vague. But Selena did go on to TikTok Live, and again, she was pretty vague here, but she set the precedent that she wants people to stop attacking anyone, to stop this social media hate. I mean, maybe if she name dropped, it would have been a little bit better, but it seems like she's trying to calm down the drama.
I think some of the things that I don't even need to be aware of are just vile and disgusting. And it's not fair, and no one ever should be spoken to in the manner that I've seen. And all I have to say is it's incredibly ironic that I would release something that is all about kind words, because that's exactly what I want. That's it. If you support Rare, I cannot thank you enough, but know that you are also representing what it means. And that is, words matter, truly matter. So, it ain't coming from me. And I just want all of you to know that I hope that you understand that this is much bigger than anything else. And I'm really grateful to all of you for hearing me out, so.
That's nice of Selena to go and make that TikTok Live, but also I'm like, oh, it's so vague. Sometimes I'm trying to like decipher like is she really like helping at all? But I do think there are major issues when it comes to this entire dynamic, and honestly Justin and Hailey's relationship. Have you guys seen that video where Justin is yelling at Hailey on the red carpet, and it seems really aggressive, like borderline abusive? And there are so many more moments where Justin has been disrespectful to Hailey, and I question why she's even with him. I mean, unless she was just such a diehard fan that she was able to weasel her way into his life, and that's just been the ultimate plan of it all. But I did find one clip online where he said to Hailey, "If you weren't so hot, I would have gotten rid of you a long time ago," which maybe is a backhanded compliment, but it's also a little bit bizarre and something if my partner said to me, I would be upset by.
If you weren't so hot, I would have got rid of you a long time ago.
Like I said earlier, at the end of the day, I'm on nobody's side because do I really like care about it? Not really, but I do find it fascinating that they have this public dynamic and that people are so invested and that there are hundreds of thousands of comments being left every day in support of Jelena. It's not even like a over exaggeration. Like after looking into it, because I was like, you know what, like Hailey, like are people really like bullying you like this? And they really are. And there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to the toxic side of Selena and Justin's relationship, and you know what Hailey and Justin have gone through and how he treats her, because sometimes I question that. If you guys want me to talk about those, leave a comment below or email me any other video ideas for me, and I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye guys.